Hello everyone. Today we're going to be playing a game called TwilioQuest, and in this game it will teach us some programming language, but today we're going to learn Python. So if you would like to play along with me, you need to download Python. So you're going to go to python.org. I'll leave the link in the description below. Make sure you download the one for your operating system. So I'm using Windows, so I downloaded Python for Windows. Once you have Python installed, you're going to go to this website, twilio.com/quest/download. Again, I'll leave this link in the description. And I have Windows, so of course I downloaded the Windows version. Once you have those two things downloaded, we can get started. So I already ran the installer and I installed TwilioQuest and I opened up the program. Now we're ready to play. So let's click on play. Okay, so once that's done, you can talk to this guy right here if you would like, but I'm gonna skip him because I've talked to him many times. So we're gonna start off right here. We're gonna go to this pod. Notice that this is green. You're gonna press spacebar, and this is where we're gonna be working. We're gonna be in Mysteries of the Pythonic Temple. So click launch mission. So basically what we have to do, we have to solve a number of problems here, and in solving those problems we will learn the basics of Python. And again, if you want to look around and explore, check those books and talk to that guy, I'm gonna skip that. So let's go. Okay, so here in this chest you have to solve all of the problems first before you can get to this final puzzle. Okay, and you're gonna be walking around and you're gonna be picking up these clues. So you see one here, there's another one here. So let's pick up the first one. I hit spacebar. Okay, so I found the research note. I found 1 of 9 clues. So once we find all the clues, we could come back and we can solve this last puzzle. Okay, now first one, hit spacebar. So here the overview, it's going to tell you what you're going to do, and the objective and the help, they have a lot of useful information to help you solve this problem. So again, if you would like, you can read through this. I actually encourage you to read through this so you can actually solve these problems. So I'm going to try my best to not give you the answers for some of these, because then I'm taking all the fun out of it. Okay, a few of them I will have to give you the answers, but then others I'm going to try to just help you so you can try to get to the answer on your own. So basically the first one, the computer wants to know, where do you have Python installed? They want to make sure that Python is in your computer. Okay, so again, since I'm using a PC, this is the way that we can find where Python is. So we'll click here. So first, let's go into the search bar and type in PowerShell. We're going to open up PowerShell. Okay, you're going to copy and paste this whole line right here. Okay, Control C to copy, and now we'll go back here, Control V to paste, and once I hit enter, this is the path of where my Python is installed, and the computer, the program wants to know, hey, where is Python installed? Okay, so you're gonna copy this, Control C, and you're gonna paste it right here, Control V, and again, this is the whole path for where Python is installed. And once I hit hack, we should be good. Okay, awesome. So again, remember, you're gonna go to PowerShell. Let's go back. You're gonna go to PowerShell, and you're gonna copy and paste this right here. How do I find a path where Python 3 is installed? And again, remember, since we're on PC, this is what you're gonna copy. You paste it here, and then you're gonna get the whole path, and that's the first one. So now we're good. Now the program knows that you have Python installed. Now we can go ahead and start solving some of these problems. Let's go to this one now. Okay, so in this one here, we're gonna open Python with the command prompt. Okay, so again, it's very helpful to read through all of these things here. Okay, so I'm going to open up my command prompt. I have it right here. And I'm going to write Python 3 and hit enter. And again, it'll show me the version of Python that I'm using. And in order to solve this, what is the only city mentioned by name when you type copyright open and close parentheses into the REPL. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's write copyright. Copyright, open close parentheses, and press enter. And basically they want to know what is the only city mentioned. So look at all of this here and look for a city, the only city that's mentioned, and you're going to type it right here. The next they want you to type 24/3. This slash means divided by. So basically they want you to type 24 divided by 3. Well, we know that 24 divided by 3 is 8. But let's take a look at it on the command prompt. 24/3, that should come out to 8 because 24 divided by 3 is 8. Okay, we'll do another example. 10 divided by 2, that should be 5. Okay, so the answer for this one, again, you're going to find the city, the only city that's here. And then, of course, the answer of 24 divided by 3, you're going to type in here 8. Okay, so I'm going to let you find the city and type it in. And then we're going to go on to the next one. So I'm going to type it in off screen so you do not see. Again, I would like you to try to solve these on your own, because if you don't, then you take all the fun out of it. Okay, so there it is. And let's continue. So here we find another clue. Okay, so now we have 2. Almost there. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, Python initiation, Pythonic greeting. Write a Python program that outputs a traditional Pythonic greeting to your terminal window. Okay, so this one's pretty easy. First, I'm going to make a folder. So let's minimize this. I'm going to right click. I'm going to make a new folder. And we're going to name this Twilio. And this is where we're going to store all of our answers. Okay. Now, we need to write a Python script called salutation.py. We're going to save it in here, and it basically wants us to print out this statement. So this one's pretty simple. So I'm going to open up my Python. I'm going to click idle for the shell. Okay. And again, the print statement, this is going to print out anything that you type. So for example, this is commonly used, hello world, and if I run this, it should print out hello world. Okay, in this program they want you to print out for the glory of Python, so you can almost copy and paste this here. Okay, so I'm not going to copy and paste it. I'm going to type the whole thing out. So your program needs to say for I cannot type today, for the glory of Python. Make sure everything is capitalized. Make sure you have the exclamation mark. Okay, so this right here is called the string. Okay, any text that's inside the parentheses, this is a string. Now, if I were to type it without parentheses, then I would get an error. Okay, invalid syntax. Then this has no idea what you're trying to say. It's trying to access an object called for the glory of Python, but we never assigned this anything. So let's try this again. Gonna add it in. Okay, so basically we need to write a file now to put in here. So we'll click on File, New File. Okay, put this to the side. And what does the program want? They want us to print that statement. So again, I can copy and paste it if you like, but I'm gonna type it out, for the glory of Python. Don't forget the parentheses, and let's save it. Now they want us to name this. They want us to name a salutation.py. So let's go to Save As. We'll navigate to this folder right here, which is on the desktop. Twilio. And we'll name this salutation.py, I believe. Yes, salutation. Make sure you spell it correctly. Salutation.py. And save. Okay. So now, here's the program right here. But I have to paste the full path of the program. So how do I find that? So I just double-clicked my folder. And if I click up here, this is the path, okay? hard drive, or the C drive, and the users folder, and that's my name, desktop, Twilio. This is the path. So you're gonna copy this here, copy and paste, but we need the actual program, the full program. So I'm sorry, the full address. So the name of this is salutation.py. So here we type, oops, I spelled it wrong. Always salutation.py. Make sure you spell it correctly. And there we go. Okay, so spelling's very important. Okay, let's do it. So let's do the next one. Next one. Okay, learn to use. I can't even read. Learn to use command line arguments to give your Python code some initial data to work with. And again, the objective and the help are very, very, very useful. Okay, and again, these couple of examples, they kind of already show you the answer, but that's okay. So let's see. Basically, what they want, we want to be able to run this program right here. Okay, Python 3, we want to open this in Python, and these arguments, we want to pass these arguments on the command prompt. Okay, so basically we need to write a program that will accept these arguments, and basically it will print them out. So how do we do that? Again, if we go to help, it shows a lot. It's very, very, very helpful. So here we can actually copy and paste this code right here. So let's make a new file. We'll go File, New File, put this away, and we can copy and paste this whole thing. And I'll do my best to explain what everything means. So this right here is a reserved keyword. Words like import or in or print or int for integer, these are reserved keywords that Python uses. So we're basically importing the sys module. So it's like we're taking like functions and abilities from this module, and we're importing it into this script so we can use it. The sys module lets us work with the operating system. Okay, so here in these print statements, this is exactly what it's going to print. And here we see an F right here. This is called an F string. We'll talk about F strings a little later, but the most important thing that you need to notice is here. sys.argv, and then we see brackets and the number 0. Now in computers, everything starts at 0. So if you're counting things, you start at 0, then 1, then 2. You don't start at 1. Okay. So this sys.arg is the first argument that you pass in the command prompt. So let's look at this here. Python 3. The first argument that I'm passing is the name of the file. Okay. So notice here it says the name of this Python file is sys.argv 0. That's the first argument that you're going to pass. sys.argv1 is the second argument. Remember, we start at 0 and the next one is 1. So what's the second argument that we pass? It's going to be, looks like snacky. Okay? What's the third argument that we're going to pass? Yogurt. And the last argument, which is the last argument? A long thing in quotes. So this is all the code that we need. So let me show you what's going on here. We're going to save it in the same folder, in the Twilio folder, and we need to name it. Let's see. We need to name it collect_input. Okay, so let's go File, Save As, and we'll navigate to that same folder that we just created, Twilio. And we're going to name it collect_input. Okay, I was having trouble saving it, but I have it saved now. So now let's go into the command prompt. So right now I'm still in the Python I'm still in Python here, and I want to exit. So we'll hit exit, open close parentheses, and we're back in the command prompt. Now, what you have to do, you have to navigate to this folder right here. Okay. Again, the full path would be right here. C users L Rivera, that's my name, desktop Twilio. So right now I'm on C users L Rivera desktop. I need to go up to Twilio. I need to go inside this folder. Okay. Now if I wanted to go back, let's say I'm in the desktop and I wanted to go into this folder, I would simply type cd space ... and it'll bring me one level back. And again, if I do that again, it'll bring me to the users folder, cd ... it'll bring me back. Okay, but I don't want to go back, I want to go forward. So since I'm in the users, I'm going to say cd, because that's my name. Okay, now I'm going to go up another level to the desktop, cd desktop. Okay, and now I need to go inside this folder, so cd Twilio. And now I'm inside the folder. Now what I can do, I can run this program. So I would write Python 3 space I'm sorry, I'm running collect input .py. Now if you can tell from here, what they want this to, if I put apples, oranges, and pears and run it, this should appear. Okay, so let's do that, and then I'll explain what's happening. We'll write apples, oranges, pears. Now let's go back into the code to understand what's going on here, and we'll go to collect input. Here we go. Okay, so again, what is happening over here? So here what I'm saying, okay, I want you to open Python 3 and I want you to open this file. This is the first argument that I'm passing. Okay, so the name of the file is, remember, sys.argv0 is the first one, the very first argument. Okay, sys.argv1 will be the second, I'm sorry, yes, the second argument. Okay, so the first argument is the name of the file. Okay, the name of the file. Then the first argument after the name would be number 1. Then the second one will be number 2, and the second one will be number 3. Now this is made possible. Here, I'll write this down here. sys.argv. This can be made an object because we imported from the sys module. Okay, if we never imported this, then we cannot use this. Okay, so again, this one, the answer is pretty much there for you, but I wanted to kind of explain what's going on. So if I hit enter, I should get a list: apples, oranges, pears. And there we go. Okay, again, this is exactly what's happening. I'm opening Python, I'm opening that script, and I'm passing some arguments. Now if let's say I do the same thing, I'll copy and then I'll hit paste here, and then I'll put different things here, like water, juice, and soda. The same thing's gonna happen. The name of the Python is collect input. The first argument, water. Second, juice. Third, soda. So let's see. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so again, what we learn from this script here is that the sys module can help us interact with the operating system, like you see here in the command prompt. So I already have my file in the appropriate place. Let's get this out of here. No, I don't. We have the appropriate file, collect input. We put in the correct code, which they gave us already. Okay, and now again, this is very, very useful. Please read through all this. Okay, read through all this. This is where it explains the arguments. Okay, and if I hit hack, it should work. So create a program that uses the command line arguments as described in the tutorial. So if there is a file that says collect input with the correct input, then this hack should work. Excellent. Very good. Okay, the next couple of answers, they're not going to be given. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Declaring variables. Okay, declaring variables is very, very simple. Again, please read through the objective and the help. But the only thing that we need to do, we need to make a file named variables.py in the same folder here. Okay, so let's do that. I still have my shell here. We'll go new file. Okay. And the name of this file has to be variables.py. We'll name it in a second. All we need to do is declare two variables, favorite robot, and we need to set it to a value of a string that says Cedric. Remember, this is a string. And then we need a variable meaning of life. We need to set it to the value of 42. Now remember, strings must have quotation marks. Numbers do not. Okay. Now, if I want to set a variable, now I'm gonna write something different. So again, I don't really want to give you the answer here. I'll write favorite instrument. And if I want to set declare a variable, all I have to do is equal sign, and I can set it to whatever I want. So my favorite instrument happens to be the guitar. Now remember, if I write guitar here, this is going to be wrong because this is not a string. This is an object called guitar, but we never declared guitar anything. So the computer is going to be like, what is that? But if I make this a string, then the computer will be like, okay, so we're going to equate favorite instrument, and it's going to be equal to guitar. Okay, so if I run this, let's run it. Let's save this to the appropriate name. So let's put it here in Twilio. We're going to name this variables. Okay, and if I run this, I'm going to call favorite instrument, favorite underscore instrument, and once I hit enter, notice that it gives me the guitar. Okay, because that's what I set favorite instrument to. Okay, and the next one, a variable named meaning of life with a value of 42. I'll write meaning underscore of underscore music. And again, when you write numbers, you don't have to write any quotation marks, right? I can write set it to 52. Okay, let's run this. Okay, now if I call meaning of music, I will get the number 52. Now I can also turn 52 into a string if I put this in quotation marks. This is no longer a number now. The computer is going to treat this as a string. So if I do the same thing and call meaning of music, it should give me 52 as a string. Okay, now remember, what do we need to complete this? We need to have a variable named favorite robot with the value of Cedric. Okay, don't forget the quotation marks and capitalize the C. And we also need to name a variable meaning of life and set it equal to 42. Okay, I'm going to do this off screen. You should do the same so I can pass this code. So right now I'm going to edit my code. I'm not going to show you what I am doing. You should be able to figure it out. Okay. Okay, now it should be good. If I have the appropriate variables set to the appropriate values in here, let me delete this. And once I click hack, I should be good. Excellent. So, let's continue. This one right here. Okay, learn how to work with numbers. Okay. So, here, what do you want? Okay, perform basic math calculations. Okay, math calculations. Let's open a new file. So, Python can act like as a calculator for you. Okay, we can do addition with the plus symbol. Okay, 1 plus 1, we should know is equals to 2. We can do subtraction, 1 minus 1, that should equal 0. We can do multiplication, use the asterisk, 2 times 2 should be 4. And finally, we have division, which is the backslash. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now, there's a few more operators, but for now, we're going to be working with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and those are all the symbols that we're going to be using. The plus sign, the minus sign, the multiplication sign, and the division sign. Now, let's see how we can do this. So let's go to objective. Again, objective and help gives you a lot of necessary information. So let's look at what we see here. We need to declare a few variables. So in the last one, you already know how to make a variable. You write some text and you put equals whatever you want it to equal. Okay. So let's start off with this here. We're gonna open up a new script. And we're going to copy and paste this here. Or you can type it in if you like. I like to type. So again, we're going to import the sys module so we can use this right here. Okay? So here we'll write first number is equal to. So we're setting the variable. And let me tell you what this float stands for. sys.argv. And remember, it will be the first argument passed. Okay, it won't be 0. Okay, because if you put 0, the first argument passed will be the name of the file. You're gonna see that in a second. So let's look at what this float does. Let's go to the shell, and if I write float and I write the number 2, it'll give me the floating value. It'll give me 2.0. Same thing with any other number. Float 4.0. So if I take a regular integer, I'm going to take a floating integer. This is a floating integer right here. I want to make it into a regular integer. I want to make it just 2. I would use the int. Remember how we talked about reserved keywords? Now I should have just a 2. Okay? Let's say I have 2.5 and I want to turn that into an integer. 2.5. It'll remove anything after the decimal and put 2. So here they want us to work with floats. So let's go back into this script. Okay, so basically what this is saying is that the first number that you're going to put, you're declaring a variable first number and you're making it equal to the number that's being inserted in the command prompt. Okay, if that's confusing, don't worry. Everything's going to be cleared up in a second. Okay. Okay, so we have to do a second number. Second number equals float sys.argv. This will be the next argument. Okay. Now here, result sum is equal to the first number plus the second number. Okay, so let's write that. Result sum. Now remember, these are variables here, and you're gonna see how we're gonna use them in a second. So the sum is basically the first number plus the second number, and that's exactly how we would write it here. Okay, first number plus second number. Okay, so we're basically saying, well, if we call the result sum, you're giving me the first number plus the second number. So basically, when you call this, I want the sum of these two numbers. Okay? So now, let's get started. Result sum, so here we already have result sum. Your job is to type out result difference, result product, result quotient. So let's do that. I'm going to help you out with this part. You're going to do the rest. Okay? So we have the result sum. Good. Let's write result different. Result difference. Okay? And we'll leave that blank for now. You're going to fill that in. Result product is equal to result quotient is equal to. So if the sum is the first number plus the second number, what would the difference be? Remember, sum is addition, difference is subtraction, product is multiplication, and quotient is division. So you're basically going to put the appropriate symbol in between the first number and the second number. So I'll help you with the first one. First number. We'll put this blank here because you're going to fill this in. And then we'll write second number. Second number. So in order to get the difference, what must you do with these two numbers? Remember, difference means subtraction. If we want the sum, well, I'm going to put an addition symbol in between those two. If I want the difference, what symbol should I put here? Okay? And I'm going to do the rest. Copy. Paste. Your job is to fill in the appropriate symbol, okay? So if we want the difference, what symbol should we put here for subtraction? If you want the product, what symbol should you put here for multiplication? And for quotient, what symbol should you put here? Okay? I have already shown you a few minutes ago. I showed you all of the symbols, okay? Your job is to find the correct symbol to insert, okay? Now let's finish up this code. We want to print out this whole statement. Okay, so let's copy and paste this, and I'll tell you exactly what this is. So we'll copy and paste. So here's our print function, and here's our f string. And f strings allows us to put objects here that would change. So for example, if I were to run this and my first number would be 4, well, this would be 4 here, and then if I write my second number to be 10, this would be 10. Now, it doesn't have to be 4 and it doesn't have to be 10. What if I write 6 as my first number? Well, it'll replace first number with the first number that you put, 6. And let's say the next number I put is 17. It'll put that in 17, and then it'll give you the result sum. Notice that they have these curly braces here, and this is very, very important. Okay, this is basically telling me, hey, print whatever you put. Here's first number. Whatever you insert in the argument as your first number, that's what I want right here. Okay, so this first number is going to go here. Curly braces are important. Okay, same thing here. Whatever you put as your second number, I want you to put it right here. Okay, I want you to do this the sum, run this code. So what is the code doing? I'm adding both the numbers, and I want the result sum. Okay, as you can see, the result sum is taking those two numbers and adding it together. Okay, so now let's see if that works. So we're gonna save this. Oh, actually, again, it is your job to fill in the appropriate symbol. So what I'm gonna do off screen, I'm gonna write in the appropriate symbols. Okay, we're gonna delete that underscore and replace it with the appropriate symbol. Okay, once that's done, you're going to save the file, and remember the name of the file is going to be called numbers in this folder. Okay, so let's go to Twilio, we're going to name this numbers, and we'll hit save. Now, how do we know if this code works? Let's go back into the command prompt. Okay, now notice I'm still in my folder. Okay, if you do not know how to navigate, navigating is very, very important in this in the command prompt. Okay, remember I showed you how to go up a level, cd ... If I press enter, it will bring me to the desktop. Okay, if I press let me just show you an example. Now I'm in the desktop. Okay, if I want to see everything that's in the desktop, I can hit dir, and that's the directory. That's going to show me every single folder that I have. And I want to go inside this folder right here. I want to go inside Twilio. So how do I do that? I would write cd and type in the name of the folder. Now notice I'm inside the folder. Now I want to run the script that I just wrote, and I want to pass it some arguments. Okay, yeah. Alright, so perfect. Okay, so we want to run this right here. Okay, let's go to the command prompt. Remember, I'm in my folder. So if I'm in where my script is. So I'll write Python 3, the name of the script, which is numbers.py. Remember, this is the first argument that you are passing. Okay, so this right here would be sys.argv0. Okay, sys.argv1 is going to be the next thing that you pass. And the next argument that I'm going to pass, I'm going to put 12. Okay, oh, it's 12. And I'm going to put another one, which is 4. Now, basically, what this program is going to do, it's going to go back. Here, let me, I'm going to delete the symbols so you don't see the answer. Basically, it's going to run this program, and it's going to tell me the first number, which is, what's the first number? 12, plus the second number, which is 4. 12 plus 4, what's 12 plus 4? It's 16, right? So, it should, if I run this correctly, it should print out 12 plus 4 equals 16. Let's see if that works. Let's run this now. Enter. Okay? And notice. Now here, notice it says 12.0 plus 4.0 equals 16.0. Now why is that? Because we converted everything into a float. We'll put 2 arguments. Oh, 320, whatever. Okay, 10 plus 320 equals 330. Okay? Now when I click hack, there you go. Okay? So if we learn a number of things now, we've learned how to use the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We learned how to declare variables. Okay, now it's going to start getting a little more difficult. And here we go. Here's another clue. Awesome. Okay. So let's, so we have 3 of 9 clues here. Okay. And we can't go through this force field here. Okay. So let's continue. Let's do one last one before we take a break. Let's do this one because I want to get into this room right here and grab that note. Okay. Learn to use dictionaries to represent more complex data in Python. Alright, so we're going to learn how to make some dictionaries here. Again, please read through these objective and help, and it will show you exactly what to do. Okay, so this one's pretty simple. I'll show you exactly how to construct a dictionary. So we're gonna take some we're gonna use different things here because again I don't want to give you the answer. Okay, so we need to construct an object named a dictionary object called superhero. Okay, so I'm gonna name a dictionary object called super villain. Okay, and how do we construct a dictionary? We're gonna use curly braces. Okay, before with print statements we used open and close parentheses. In list, which we're gonna get to very soon, we use the square brackets. But in order to create a dictionary, we need to open and close curly brackets. Now dictionaries, in dictionaries you have a key and you have a value. Okay, so here the key is name and the value is Miles Morales. So it's almost like saying name equals Miles Morales, but not quite, because in a dictionary when you set values to the keys. Okay, so we're gonna write in order to construct a dictionary. Again, curly braces, we're going to write, let's say, alias for name. And remember, this is a string. Okay? So, alias has to be a string. Okay? If this is not a string, it's not going to work. Okay? So, here's the key. And then we put colon. And then the next thing that follows the colon is going to be the value. Okay? So the name of a supervillain, we're gonna name him Venom, right? So Venom. Okay, so this is my dictionary here, where here's the key, alias, and here is the value, Venom. My alias is Venom, but we want to add in more. We want to add more keys. So how do you add more keys? You simply type in a comma and a space. You don't need the space, but I like the space just so everything looks nice. Okay, so hero name. All right, villain name. And again, this is a string. Villain name. And again, this is the key. How do I declare the value? Colon. Okay. I don't know. We'll put Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock, right? And now I need another one, which is power level. Okay. Again, how do I put another key? Comma, space. And power level is going to be an integer of 9,099. Okay, so we'll write power level, and the value, remember, don't forget the colon. The value will be, we'll put 10,000. Okay, and that's it. That is my dictionary. I just constructed a dictionary. So again, how do I make a dictionary? So first, I will declare a variable. We'll call it dictionary. Okay, and we'll write good. The key is good, and the value is silence. And we want to put another key. We'll put bad, and we'll put bad will be noisy. I think I spelled that right. And remember, curly braces. And here I have my dictionary. Okay? Very, very simple. So what you're going to do, you're going to make a dictionary called superhero. Okay? I named mine supervillain. The first key will be name. I wrote alias. Remember, don't forget the parentheses. And write Miles Morales. Make sure capital M, space. Okay? I put mine Venom. Okay? Well, I should have actually switched these two, but hopefully you'll get the picture. Okay? This is how you construct a dictionary. Curly brackets. Okay? Make sure superhero. Okay? The key, a name, value, Miles Morales. Hero name, key, value, Spider-Man. Okay? Key, power level, value, 9,999. Okay? So your job is to fill in the appropriate names here. Okay? So this should not be supervillain. This should be superhero. Okay? And that's exactly how you construct a dictionary. I am going to type in the correct answer off screen. Once you have that done, paste. Once you have that done, we're going to save it. Remember, you're going to save it in that folder, and we're going to name it Dictionaries. Okay? And hopefully that should be good. We're going to click on hack because remember, I have my folder. I have my dictionaries with the correct information. Once I click hack, we did it. Excellent. Okay, so let's grab this clue right here. All right, so we have 4 of 9 clues. We're almost there. So let's take a break here. I hope that you guys can. I hope you guys understand. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. In the next video, we're gonna be solving the next few puzzles, and they're gonna get a little more difficult. Okay, so I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.